It is so good to be back on set for pregame because it means that we are that much closer to kickoff in Kinnick.
And Danny, this game will be one for the books as it is the first time Illinois State and Iowa have ever played each other.
That's right, Taylor. Illinois State is no team to bypass, however, as they went to the FCS championship game last season. Unfortunately for them, they lost to North Dakota State 29-27.
Now we will catch you up on what to expect from Illinois State in a little bit. But for now, I took a look at some NFL prospects for the Iowa Hawkeyes and who you should be looking out for come this season.
The National Football League seems to be attracted to the Iowa Hawkeyes as 28 players have been drafted to the NFL since head coach Kirk Ferentz took over in 1999. But the NFL seems to have a thing for the offensive linemen, the most recent being Brandon Sheriff, of course, but with him there are 14 others that have been drafted and 13 have been free agents. One special thing about these players is that they often find their way back to Iowa City.
The stability of our program has lent itself to that, where our NFL guys come back and they see the same coaches, sports medicine people, administrators that have been here for a long time. When they come back here, it's home to them, it's family to them.
But flashback to this year, and one player is on the NFL radar, and that would be offensive lineman Austin Blythe.
He is our signal caller up front. And, it's important that we have somebody there we've got a lot of faith in, and that's certainly the case with Austin.
Blythe has 35 starts under his belt and is currently ranked the 8th best center according to CBS Sports.
The difference between him as a fifth-year senior and the first time I was around him, which was as a second-year freshman in our lineup, I think what he would tell you is when he's out there, he sees a much bigger picture now.
Blythe also knows offensive line coach Brian Ferentz has experience in the big leagues, and that helps.
I think Brian, being a former player, has really, helped us as an offensive line to understand what it takes.
The coaches and past offensive linemen have paved the way for current players who might have an eye on the NFL, and Blythe sees that.
It's just the people that we got here, Coach Doyle, head coach Ferentz, Brian now, and a long line of guys that did it before you that kind of show you the way, show you the path of how to do things.
The draft is the last thing on Blythe and the coach's mind as the season is right at their fingertips.
Now, Danny, Austin Blythe will definitely be one of those top players that we are looking for in this 2015 season.
You're right, Taylor. Now transitioning to a different side of football, the fans. Alec Giannakopoulos found out the Iowa fans aren't as experienced as some. Alec?
It's hard to believe that in a few days, over 70,000 people will file into Kinnick, all with some kind of expectation of how this team should play. It's even harder to believe that there will be a couple thousand in freshmen and transfers that have no idea what to expect from the team or the environment. Earlier, we had a chance to settle down and talk to some freshmen and transfers to see what they were expecting in their first day at Kinnick.
I don't know what to expect. I'm expecting that it'll be really fun.
I think it'll be exciting because everybody will get ready or be excited to get back to watching football.
I don't really know what to expect, honestly. Just hoping for an exciting game day environment.
The only thing I really know is the IOWA thing around the stadium.
I know the beginning part where the introduction happens, where they have the players up on the screen, and then the players come down and they're on the jumbotron.
Third down's also a very exciting time. We want to get everyone as loud and excited as possible. Everyone puts their arms out and goes like this. Cheerleaders get on shoulders or standing on shoulders, and sometimes the boys will run all the way up to the band. It kind of wakes the stadium up if they've kind of been dozing and it's their third down. They'll wake up and be like, oh, yes, come on, Hawkeyes, let's go.
Now, Taylor, my first game day at Kinnick was not the most ideal. I was at that painful 9-6 loss against Iowa State my freshman year.
My first game was about 3 years ago when we played Penn State inside Kinnick. It was a night game, which we're bringing back the night games this year, so that'll be really exciting. But that game was not pretty. But now we will send it over to football reporter Laura Belanda, who has more on Illinois State. Laura?
Thanks, Danny and Taylor. After taking a look at the numbers, there's one Redbird with quick feet that could take a toll on this Iowa defense. And for the Hawkeyes' sake, let's hope that you don't hear this name too often come Saturday.
Number 25, Marshawn Coprich. The 5'9", 205-pound running back was a 2014 first-team All-American selection. He averaged 151.6 yards and 10.8 points per game. He also rushed for a total of 2,274 yards in the 2014 season with 27 touchdowns. Taking a comparison check on the black and gold side, senior Jordan Canzeri. Last year, Wiseman and Canzeri combined for a total of 1,306 rushing yards, almost 1,000 less than Coppridge. But one stat in favor of the Hawkeyes is their 12-0 record against FCS teams, while the Redbirds have never beaten a team in the Big Ten Conference.
But he's not the only ball carrier they're going to have to watch out for. Their quarterback, Trey Robertson, rushed for 1,029 yards last season. But with that, I'll send it back to you guys.
Now that we've broken down what to expect from Iowa, let's take a look at the Big Ten as a whole.
And coming in at number 1 is the undefeated champs, Ohio State. No question there.
Coming in at number 2 is Sparty of Michigan State. Their quarterback, Connor Cook, is back for his senior season and more experienced than ever.
3 and 4 go to Wisconsin and Nebraska, both teams that Iowa will see on their schedule this season.
Number 5 belongs to Jerry Kill's Minnesota Golden Gophers, and coming in at 6 is Penn State.
Iowa will see Minnesota this year inside Kinnick Stadium, but not Penn State. We go to number 7, though. That belongs to Michigan and their new headman, Jim Harbaugh. And in the middle of the pack, at number 8, sits Iowa.
9 and 10 belong to East Coast teams of Rutgers and Maryland.
Indiana and Northwestern will both be away games for Iowa, and they are at the number 11 and 12 spots.
Wrapping up the preseason power rankings are Purdue and Illinois sitting at 13 and 14.
Now that is such a tough break for Illinois. Being last in the preseason rankings and then just firing their new head coach, Tim Beckman, from those allegations.
Yeah, firing your coach 8 days before kickoff, not an ideal situation. I'm sure the players aren't too happy about that.
Not at all, not at all. But we are out of time on this pregame edition.
Be sure to check out the print copy of Daily Iowan pregame. Pick that up newsstands tomorrow morning and check it out online at dailyiowan.com/pregame.
Also, we have a new feature coming to you guys. It will be called Fifth Quarter, and we will wrap up the Battle of the Birds inside Kinnick Stadium after the game. But for now, back to you guys at the desk.